The opinions in this podcast are all our own.
But the businesses are real chamber members.
It's a chamber chat.
Coming to you from Wahoo, Nebraska. Chamber Chat with Kate
And Kat.
Welcome to Chamber Chat with Kate.
And Kat. I'm Catherine Nygren, owner of Found and Flora Flower Shop.
And I'm Kate DeCoste, owner of Kate DeCoste Photography. This podcast is everything Wahoo Chamber of Commerce.
And now a message from one of our chamber champions.
Kat, have you ever thought about how lucky we are to have such a great healthcare option right here in our community?
Oh, absolutely. Saunders Medical Center is such an asset, and they really offer everything from inpatient care to outpatient services and even long-term care.
It really is impressive. And the best part, they use the latest technology but never lose that personal touch. They truly care about their patients.
Plus, the staff, there are neighbors, friends, and family. And it's really comforting knowing the people taking care of us are the people that we trust.
Exactly. Saunders Medical Center is always there when you need them, providing quality care close to home.
For more information, you can go to their website at saundersmedicalcenter.com. Well, Kate, we have another guest in the studio.
I know, I'm excited.
I know. We had to turn the recording on because our chat was kind of starting early, and it's like, wait, this is good stuff.
Yes,
hit
hit
this on record.
Yes, I know. Do you want to introduce who we have
Yes,
today?
we have Holly Meiergerd of Let's Play.
Yeah. Hello.
Thanks
Hello.
for being here.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, you got a lot going on.
We do. Yeah. We are. So I'm Holly from Let's Play Yoga and Wellness here in Wahoo. We have been in business we're on our 5th year
Wow.
in brick and mortar here in downtown Wahoo.
Wow,
Uh-huh.
5 years.
Where did
that
that
go?
go?
Yeah, this is our 5th year.
That's awesome.
So party time.
Yeah.
It's a milestone.
Expansion. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just move locations.
Yes. We just moved across the street. So we doubled the size of our studio.
Nice.
So that we could expand and add services. So now we have all of our yoga classes, our boot camp classes, our kids classes, our workshops, and now we've expanded into saunas and cold plunge.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're excited.
so
We moved
exciting.
there in August. We would have started on that
Okay.
location. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how is that all going? Are you getting a lot of people wanting that, needing those services?
Yeah, it's gone really well. We're seeing a lot of expansion and growth. We're super excited about the community that we're developing there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think with the cold winter months, the sauna's
Oh,
been
sure.
really busy.
Heck
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Everybody's a little nervous about the
Cold plunge,
plunge.
yeah.
Can I do this? Lots of question and doubt, but
Yes.
lots of successful
I would be
people
in
as
that
well.
camp.
Yes. Hype yourself up as you're like,
I got this.
yeah.
Yes, we have been very excited about the Wahoo community. I will say our classes are consistently growing.
Nice.
And we're really excited for even more continued growth.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, did you always want to grow into having the saunas and the cold plunge? Was that kind of when you first opened the studio? Were you wanting to be able to
Get to that point eventually.
Yeah, no, that was not on our radar when we first opened the yoga studio.
Okay.
We opened, kind of amidst the beginning of COVID and all the things, so we weren't really
Yeah.
sure what would happen.
Oh, sure.
But no, starting out, we were looking just into the classes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then probably about a year ago, decided to expand on some of the wellness options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And then you were able, that space opened up and you were like,
Now I have room for a sauna.
It was perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
We were able to get in there, do some construction, add some rooms and spaces, the plumbing, all the things.
Mhm.
That went
Sure.
really, really well. And I was just telling you, our second sauna finally arrived
Yeah.
after 9 months of waiting. It showed up today.
Yay.
So excited.
yes.
So there is huge boxes in the studio now. It looks a mess at the moment. But
Oh, wow. I can't imagine how big a box would be to have a sauna.
For a sauna.
yeah, it was
to
a
fit in there.
950-pound pallet.
Oh,
Wow. So that comes on
Yes,
truck
it
then.
did. They dropped it in the street, and then my husband and I unwrapped it.
Oh.
Looked at each other like, how strong
Right.
is
Or-
this? I think that was the question he asked me. And I'm like, not that strong.
Right?
So we got the dolly. It worked
Oh,
well.
there you go.
Oh, that's great. And then is it you and your husband that are the instructors?
Yeah, so I teach. I'm there most of the time. My husband does teach the 5:30 a.m. classes on Tuesday, Thursday. That's called circuit training on our calendar.
Okay.
And then we have 2 other yoga instructors, Vicky and Nikki,
Oh,
and they
okay.
teach in the evenings as well. So between myself and them, we kind of take all the evening classes.
Mhm.
And then I have several ladies from Lincoln that come in and teach our specialty
Oh,
classes. So if you
cool.
ever see like sound bath or nidra, some of those types of things, I have some instructors come in from Lincoln to teach those.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard amazing things about the sound bath.
Yes, we have one coming up on Sunday and it is full.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Those are very well received in this community.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
That that you can have
She does a great job. Yes.
something that people may not know a lot about.
Right.
That
Yes.
becomes popular.
Right. If people who are listening who don't know, what is a sound bath?
Yeah. So a sound bath, we have Samantha from Sat Bath Sound comes from Lincoln to do that. And it's a very restful workshop experience. You get to kind of just relax and lay there.
Mhm.
And then she brings all kinds of musical instruments and uses music and sound and sound bowls and vibration. And it's kind of about an exchange of energy, right? Because there's energy and sound vibrations, different hertzes, different things like that. And so it's where our bodies are also made up of energy. And so it's kind of about a cleansing experience and an exchange of energy.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. I always
Very
see like
relaxing.
when I see stuff that you post, I'm always like, I need to do that. I need to try
Yeah.
that.
It'd be
Yes.
worth trying to see if it's your jam or if you
Yeah.
really like it. But
Yeah.
yes, that is one that we have a lot of people, the minute those get posted, they come back.
Right away.
So I'm going to guess that it
And
that
they
it's
tell their
enjoyable.
friends,
Yeah.
and now the class is full.
Right. Right.
Yes. And she will be coming almost every month throughout this calendar year. We have it scheduled. So
Wow. So
Great.
watch for those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
And when do you post those?
we do a monthly calendar.
Okay.
And so that will come out like this week for April. So
Okay.
always the last
Okay.
week of the month, the whole calendar for the following month comes out. We try to be pretty planned and ahead of the game for the whole month.
Uh-huh.
That's great. Then, yeah.
Plan it.
You
Yeah.
can plan, other people can
Yeah,
plan.
because you got to look at your calendars.
Yes.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
Of it.
yeah.
It's yeah.
But it's always good to schedule your wellness.
It is.
Like don't
Yeah.
like put that off. You know,
Right.
it's one of those things as you're looking at your calendar, like make sure you get those classes in and don't have that like, oh, if I have time, I'll take care of myself.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Absolutely.
that's my goal for this year is trying to be more intentional about like, okay, I'm just going to write it on the calendar and I'm going to go.
Right.
Do it.
You're going to
Yeah,
do
you
it.
know.
we tend to do that for everybody else in our lives, but not ourselves. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it is not selfish because yes, if we're not functioning on our best, we're not really giving our best to anyone. So
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to ask about the cold plunge.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
why would you do it? Like why or not? That sounds weird. But like that was
Why
not
would
how
you do it?
Why would you do it? That was not how I wanted it to sound. But what's the benefits? That's what I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah.
And like exact kind of what is
How
it?
does
If
it work?
again, if people don't.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah. So we have our cold plunge. We keep our cold plunge between 54 and 55 degrees.
Okay.
So you may see some that are kept a lot colder than that.
Okay.
But ours is usually around 54, 55 degrees. We recommend no more than 10 minutes, but not everybody works up to that. So there's several people that come and do anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes in the cold plunge.
Okay.
The benefits of the cold plunge are pain. So a lot of people that come consistently to do it is for like chronic pain relief because of the anti-inflammatory properties of the water
Okay.
on the blood vessels themselves.
Okay.
So reducing the inflammation on a cellular level. And another big one, and I will say there is research to support this, and the biggest thing I see in the studio from people that do the cold plunge is the dopamine release. So you get, there's like a 250% increase in the release of dopamine after being in the cold plunge, which is your feel-good hormone.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
people leave happy.
Interesting.
It just kind of releases this big surge of feel-good hormones.
yeah.
And so people are kind of ready to take the day by storm. So a lot of mental health benefits to that.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe in our world, it's just simply mind over matter in some cases. And so in a situation like that, you're telling yourself, I can do something hard. And then you did it.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it's, that's what I see. I say clinically because I work in the medical model also. That's what I see at the studio
Okay.
as the biggest benefits, would be mental health and chronic inflammation.
Interesting.
yeah.
I would have never expected the mental health part
No,
of it.
no.
Yeah.
You know, like the blood vessel part makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
but-
could see like the mental, like, I can do this.
I'm gonna do
I
it.
think. But yeah.
Yeah,
but-
because we're very comfortable from, we tend to keep our houses the same temperature and our cars, and
Sure.
we like to kind of maintain comfort, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
you're choosing,
yes.
you're telling your brain it's okay and it's safe to put myself in this situation for a few minutes, and that I have control in this situation,
Mhm.
and that I can come out and I can do this hard thing.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of nervous system benefits to that.
Okay.
That's fascinating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
I love that.
So how does somebody book a cold plunge?
Yes. So we have a website, letsplaywahoo.com,
Mhm.
and we do all of our bookings for the cold plunge and the saunas online.
Okay.
You don't pay online, but you can book online, and that reserves your spot.
okay.
Yeah. Then you can just show up to the studio.
Nice. What do you recommend wearing? Like if I was going
Yeah.
to prepare for a cold plunge, is that information on your website, or like what do you recommend?
It is. Yep. And most people will just wear their swimsuits
Uh-huh.
or a pair of shorts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm so intrigued now.
I know.
You'll have to come try it.
I was going to say, we should
Yeah.
do like podcast on the road.
Ooh.
There you go.
Or
yes.
podcast,
We
just
could video
down the
it.
street.
We could-
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to. You don't need me on video. but I'll do it and come talk about it. I don't think we gain a lot of listeners if I was on video. Let's put it that way.
This is not true.
I think actually you might, just because of from seeing our being like, we can do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love
Funny.
it. And then how do you, like, we were actually talking about this right before you came,
Yeah.
of like going to classes like yoga and all of that. Is
Yeah.
that something you need to sign up for?
Yeah.
Do you show up?
So all of our classes, walk-ins are welcome.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the only thing you have to actually register for ahead of time, I'm usually try to be very clear about that if it's on, in our marketing and stuff. But any class, you can just, walk-ins are welcome.
Okay.
Mhm.
You can sign up online for most of them and pay online for those if you want to just attend a one-time class.
Oh,
But
sure.
you don't have to. You can walk in and we can take care of everything from there. We have all the supplies. So we have mats, we have blocks, we have blankets, we have stretching straps, anything you would possibly need there.
Mhm.
A lot of people choose to bring their own if they just,
Oh, sure.
I want my mat.
My favorite mat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have all of that for beginners that might just be wanting to try it, that
Yeah.
don't have all the things or want to invest in buying the things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of nice for most people. We have a lot of people that do use our stuff.
Nice. And then the memberships, how does that all work?
Yeah. So we have all kinds of options for trying the classes.
Okay.
You can come to just one class and pay for that class. We have a punch card option. So you can pay for like 4 classes or 10 classes, which makes everything a little bit cheaper.
Okay.
And those don't expire. You can use those, throughout the year. And then we have a monthly membership option. Again, that makes it even cheaper if you do the monthly membership option.
Right.
And we have options for an individual, and then we just added a family membership.
I saw that on
Oh,
Facebook.
okay.
Yeah.
We're expanding in our big goals for this year is expansion in the family arena.
Mm-hmm.
So we're adding a lot. My big passion is kids and working with children. So we're expanding our kids yoga classes. We're expanding our stretching for the athletes classes to just. I love to work with kiddos and meet them where they're at and understanding their body and how movement matters and what that can look like and a healthy way to do that. So that's definitely an area that will be growing over the next couple months.
Okay.
We have some family fitness classes starting in April here on Saturdays.
Ooh.
Oh, fun.
So it's just $10 for your whole family to come and do the workout with us.
Okay.
About 10 years and older just for the workout itself. But
Sure.
yeah. We have
Oh,
some
that's great.
father-son workouts we've added monthly.
Okay.
to
That's
kind of-
great.
yeah.
That's fun just to have like where, hey, let's go
Yeah.
together.
And it's not competitive, right? So it's not about, doing
winning and losing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's just about listening to your body and finding movement fun and enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun that you have something to do like with dad or with, or with the whole family
Yeah.
because it's not like, hey, we're going to go out of town to a movie or something like that where it's here in town.
Mm-hmm.
And you're that they're learning something too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like the idea of like teaching them young, kind
Yeah.
of like, hey, this is fun, like exercise, you know. It was
Yeah.
like, I was like, was the girl that hated PE, so I'm like, oh.
But-
When it comes to exercise, I'm trying to change that mindset. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can do that, and I can put it on my calendar and get it done. And,
Yeah.
you know, schedule around that.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah,
And
I love
movement
that.
for all ages is important. And, you know, not only just for our physical health, but our mental health and all of the things it does for our body and all of our body systems. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's that thing too where, you know, you get in that where you're like, ugh, I don't want to do it. But then when you do, I was just talking about this the other day, like then you do and then you feel so good about it and or not about it, but you feel
Yeah,
good.
your body releases
Your
endorphins.
yeah. And it's, you know, but you just have to like you said, just do it and put it on the calendar and make yourself.
Yeah, we have a lot of group class options. I do teach private lessons. So if somebody has specific goals or they're not quite ready or nervous for a group class and want to try some things out on their own first, I do lots of private lessons for all kinds of those. Look so different for everyone based on
sure.
Their
they're definitely
goals.
specific to that individual. So that's also an option for those that aren't quite ready for the group class option.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good to
Yeah.
know too.
We have
So,
options
yeah,
to
if
come
you
to
are
the workplace, different things like that. If you're looking for just kind of a movement matters break or something positive to do for your workplace to come do, whether that's movement or
that'd be kind of fun too, like a group like with your
like your business,
Yeah.
yoga, wellness kind of.
yeah,
You
we had
know?
a couple like birthday parties come do it or
Oh.
bachelorette party type things where
Aw.
they just do that's just part of their day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I like that.
I do
And then
too.
that'd be like, then do the cold plunge.
Yeah. They'd all probably
Happy
vote
birthday.
for the sauna. We'll see.
Yeah.
Depends on the season.
That's true. That's true. I know. I was thinking about that cold plunge when we were like, you know, in the blizzard and all of that. I was like, oh, are people really wanting to do that? Where I could see it like in the summer being
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll go
That
right in
sounds
there.
refreshing. Yeah, 50
lots
degrees
of
sounds
runners,
refreshing.
Track
Oh.
athletes, runners, long distance runners. There's a lot of benefit to the cold plunge for people that are kind of pushing their limits with the running,
Yeah.
so that they don't get overuse injuries.
Sure. Yeah, I guess you see that in like with sports and things like that where you would
Yeah.
they're sitting.
Like, yeah, like pro athletes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
look, we're right here in Wahoo and you can
I
you
know.
can
I was
do it.
pointing out to my children, my two teenage-ish aged boys, that even the NFL teams do yoga as their warm-up before every game. When you watch them out on the field, that's what they're doing.
Right. See, mom isn't so crazy after
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
It's good to put our bodies in all kinds of positions so our brain knows what to do when they're there in a sport. So there's a lot
Sure.
of injury prevention concepts into movement outside of just our
Normal
Our norm.
range.
Right.
yeah. Because then when we
Interesting.
put our body there under a force or in a fast movement, our brain already has some experience with our body there, and it remembers that a little bit, and we're a lot less likely to get a more severe injury.
Interesting. So like, on a subconscious level,
Yeah.
you know, your body can just like
Yeah.
kind of operate on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, our brains and bodies are always talking. Always.
Interesting. Whether you realize it or not.
Right.
Do you have any more paddleboard yoga classes coming up?
I don't have any on the calendar.
That's
but
one
we
thing that
will
I've
have
seen
more.
several times, and I'm like, ooh, I should sign up.
Yes, those are
I'm
fun.
going to ask you sometime if you want to do paddleboard yoga.
Those are a lot of fun, and those classes we definitely take with laughter. They're not super serious. They're really fun. People do fall in the water, including myself. It's fine.
Okay.
right. I would say I would totally be. I don't even know if I could get up. Like I
You
could be
kind of
on my
crawl on.
knees.
You kind of crawl on off the side
Okay.
of the pool.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. What's really funny is I was in, this is kind of off subject, but I was in the Bahamas for a cruise. Like we went and we were snorkeling
Yeah.
and I totally got bonked by somebody on their path. She's like, sorry. She's like, I'm going to totally follow you because I've never done this before. I was like, you're doing a lot better than me. Like, I was like, I'm good.
We do tether them down, so they are weighted, so they're not.
Oh, you can't
Okay.
like get
So
away
they're
from you.
tethered to the side of the pool.
Oh.
And then we also take weights and drop them down into the pool so that they're weighted down in the front as well. So they have a little movement,
Okay.
but they're not free floating.
Oh, okay, 'cause I was gonna say,
picturing
I'd be
myself,
like-
flipping and yeah.
I'd just be
It's the
running
only
into
reason why I
everybody.
haven't
No.
signed up at this point.
They only move so far.
But every time you
Okay.
posted it, every time I'm like, ooh, who can I talk me? Talk into
into
going.
going.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Oh, that's great. Well, we'll have to look for
Yes.
paddleboard now that we know.
Now that I know that
we
it's
can't
not,
hit each other.
Yeah.
Nope. You might fall off, but
Yes.
you won't hit anyone.
How deep is the pool that you do it in?
So
there at the
we
Civic
do
Center?
it here at the Civic Center. It's what, like 5.5-ish feet deep? I
Kind of
think?
like a hotel pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The air temperature is warmer though, so you do get a little bit of a sweat on that you might not anticipate.
Okay.
Oh.
An added benefit.
Temperature is hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We call it sweaty paddleboard yoga.
How'd you come up with the concept to do paddleboard yoga?
You know, it's not necessarily a new concept in terms of they do that in a lot of other places.
Uh-huh.
You see it a lot on vacation type, resort type vibes.
sure.
Okay.
They do paddleboard yoga on some of the lakes in Omaha.
Okay.
Go do
Okay.
Now there you probably
There
aren't
you
at-
probably-
I was
gonna
gonna
say.
that sounds like open water. You saw the fear in my eyes.
Same. Same.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's no other place in Wahoo that you can do like the plunge or
No.
okay.
There is no other cold plunge or saunas in town that I'm aware of.
aware of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
that are
think
like
so.
for community use or
Yeah.
part of a business. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, and that's so great too because you can do something that's totally different.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out of town.
I was
You
going
can
to say, I
stay
love that. Yeah, you don't
right
have to
here.
leave Wahoo to do some really cool things.
Yeah.
Like the way
Yeah.
Wahoo's growing and
Yes.
developing. So,
The sauna that we currently have is the infrared sauna. And then the one that just arrived today is more of your traditional stone-based sauna. So that will have like a little bit more moisture in the air. And
Okay.
the temperature goes a little bit higher. So now we'll have both options.
Okay.
And then a contrast therapy option because that hotter sauna will go in the same room as the cold plunge.
Okay.
So you can do both and actually kind of go back and forth a little bit.
Oh.
so we talked about some of the benefits of the cold plunge. Like, what does a sauna do for
Yeah.
you? Like, why would somebody want to book a sauna?
Yeah, most people book the sauna for the benefits of detox. So you create a sweat, right? So you're kind of cleaning out your pores a little bit, detox. There is some research that it can help with inflammation, again, working on your blood vessels and the dilation and constriction of the blood vessels. And it's just relaxing. For a lot of people, again, there's those mental health benefits that we just don't probably think about enough or appreciate enough in terms of strategies and things that we have available to us. But there is a lot of just mental health benefits in the relaxation, the quiet, the
It's like you're
stillness.
booking self-care for yourself. Like, you
Yeah.
know you're going in to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
kind of that mindset of like, this is self-care time.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to have my phone like dinging at me and, all
Yeah.
the external,
Right.
distractions that we face.
Yeah,
So,
we live in a very busy world. So some people are, uncomfortable with quiet and stillness. And then some people find it very relaxing.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah. I always laugh about that even in our yoga classes. Some people absolutely love it. They come because, right, it's typically pretty quiet. And there's
Sure.
less- you focus on your breathing and stillness and you're kind of letting go of like the chaos of your day and taking a moment to just tune in.
Mhm.
How am
Yeah.
I feeling? What are my emotions? Let's check in. We don't often check in.
Uh-huh.
So there's a huge mental health benefit to just the movement that we do at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I remember that I took a class with Nikki one time, and I remember her saying at the beginning of the class, like, nobody needs anything from you right now. And I'm like, oh, they don't. Like, it was such a freeing thought. Like,
Absolutely.
she's like, that's kind of how she started her class. There was some like talk about like, like there's nothing anybody needs, like for the next however many minutes the class was, there's nobody that needs anything from you. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yay, I left the kids at home. And I just remember thinking it was like a really freeing thing. Like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like nobody does.
Yeah.
Right.
This is cool.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Giving yourself that permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And doing that more often. You
I know. Act like you're back in the 90s
Yeah.
where you didn't have
Before you
cell
had
phones,
email on your
Yes.
phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you're just
Yeah.
constantly
Our brains
Available.
are constantly bombarded with information.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and that's for all ages.
yes.
And then that's just evolved so much faster than our brains have had the ability to evolve. So we're just,
Oh.
at the rate of all that evolution and then just our brains being able to comprehend all of that. I think that's a big part of the increase in probably some mental health issues in our society. And so finding or being aware of taking a moment to tune some of that back out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think, to not having the stigma that this is mental health is not mean you are
You're
like
sick.
you're
or-
yes,
Mhm.
like
Absolutely.
it's health.
Mhm.
And it's just like if you broke your leg, you would
Yeah.
need
You
to
would
go to the doctor,
yeah.
and it's okay
Yeah.
to
And
do
nobody's going to think
things.
you're weird,
Yeah.
No,
you know, because your
no.
leg is broken.
Right. And
Yeah.
people would think you're weird if
Uh-huh.
you're like, well, my leg is broken, but no, I'm not going to go
Right.
fix it
Yeah.
because
But you can't see the break up here, you know, like
Right.
the physical break.
Right.
You know, so.
Yes. Yes. Our brains control our entire body all the time. Even the things, you're breathing and
right.
Mhm.
everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so giving it some space to just tune in to our physical body.
Yes.
We don't often think about that.
Right.
Our
Yeah.
brains are busy.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I think, what you were saying is like giving yourself permission to listen to your brain
Mhm.
or your body,
Mhm.
both, and be like, I have to do this. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, this is going to have to wait, because usually we don't. We're like, well, I have to finish this
Right.
before I
or I
can-
don't want to turn anybody down. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to disappoint anybody.
You know,
So I'm going to say
Yeah.
yes.
I think
Yeah.
that's, to sum it up, kind of where the studio came from, right? Because I've worked in the medical model for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the medical model and believe in it very strongly. But the studio is kind of an off branch of that, and a space for people to come to find the quiet. So, and not all of our classes, but a majority of them. If you ever see the word yoga, that's what that class is designed for,
Uh-huh.
is to find a place where you can find some stillness
Mhm.
and just do a check-in,
Mm-hmm.
kind
I
of
love
connect the mind and the body, because one is usually running in a different direction than the other. And we
Mhm.
can't actually separate those things, but we really sure try to.
Right. Right. I love that. And I love that was kind of like full circle of us talking, because that's how you decided to open
Yeah.
the studio.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got to the point where I was working, it's just in any career, right? You get
Mhm.
better the longer you do
Sure.
it. You
Yeah.
learn from every patient you see, you learn.
Mm-hmm.
And starting to see that, even physical ailments aren't going to completely heal or go away if we don't take care of other parts of our overall health, our
Mhm.
lifestyle, our
Mhm.
mental health, all of those things. If we aren't thinking about that and putting some energy into taking care of our sleep and what we're eating and, taking care of our mental health, then those physical ailments tend to become chronic rather than go away.
Sure.
And so the studio really came about as a place to provide for that type of community and to provide education on that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really excited about it.
Yeah. I love it.
I know. I do too. Makes me want to book a yoga class again.
I
I'm
know.
like, okay, it's been too long since I've been to a class. So
yeah.
guess who's going to the website tonight?
It'll be there.
So before we wrap up,
Yeah.
can you just give us the hours?
Yeah. So they vary. We are open every day except Sunday.
Okay.
We're closed on Sundays. And I work out at the hospital as a physical therapist. I do pediatric physical therapy on Monday afternoons and Thursday mornings.
Okay.
But outside of that, the studio is pretty much open.
Okay.
Yeah, we sometimes have to close off the service options, meaning the saunas and the cold plunges,
Mm-hmm.
for classes, because the way our building is designed, you can't run both at the same time.
Oh, sure.
Mhm.
So if anything ever looks like it maybe is shut earlier, it's probably because we have a group class. So we don't ever have anyone in the sauna or cold plunge while we have a class going on.
Got
Makes
it.
sense.
But otherwise, there are nights we're open until 8.
Okay.
Our earliest sauna most days of the week is as early as 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 5:30. And then the latest sauna is 8. We usually close by 8, again, unless there's a class that night.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And then probably the best way is just to look at your website.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go right on there. There's a little tab that says book online. You click right onto the service that you want, and it will give you all the available times. You just click on the one you want and book it. And then again, you'll pay at the studio. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Great.
And as far as social media goes, you're on Facebook then
Yes.
to watch for those calendars that come out. You
Yes,
can
we have Facebook and Instagram.
in the Instagram.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
So you can follow those two and then get them in your feed and then also go to the website.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, Holly, thank you so much for closing the studio for a little bit
Yeah.
and coming on over.
Well, I
This was
really
great.
appreciate you asking. I had a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
I just appreciate the chance to get word out about the studio, because I know as much as you try, there's always still, I didn't know that existed.
Yes.
Right.
So it's awesome to be able to take care those opportunities to just share that it exists.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, everybody listening, thanks for listening. And don't forget
To keep it local, friends.
This has been a Chamber Chat
With Kate.
and Kat.
See you next time.
You remembered your line?
I always mess up. Every time I'm always like, what do I say? What is it?
I'd have to write that down.